Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Donald Hobburn, Peter Schack, both the officials of WII and our ministry, the scientists from the world, the experts, I really welcome you from the bottom of the heart, because I believe that such interactions always help the mankind to progress ahead. And today is the day for Ozone Day. And when we celebrate Ozone Day, I was to be in Hyderabad, but I yesterday gave the video message. And I'm going to meet the children also now. My message is very simple for Ozone Day. What is ozone layer? It's like the mother's blanket for the children who really fond, and world over I have seen, whatever mother gives as a blanket to the child, it becomes part of memory for lifelong. And so that's the real protecting environment. And to that end, I saw that this ozone layer also is God's gift to mankind, which saves the earth and ensures that it doesn't raise beyond the limit and it becomes a real sustainable planet. Today, we are meeting here for GBF meeting, governing board meeting, and it's a very important meeting. And we are very happy to host this meeting. And as my additional secretary was saying that we are only associate member, but why we will be associate member? We'll negotiate and we'll become voting member. Yes, we will. The biodiversity COP, which was held in Hyderabad in 2012, I was member of parliament that time. I was already because these are the subjects which don't come in the regular political discourse. But we created a forum of members of parliaments in India and world over also, so that we take interest in climate change issues, in conservation, in sustainable development issues. And I had personally ensured that more than 25 MPs participated first time in such a very technically, in a way, biodiversity conference, COP Hyderabad, and we saw the exhibitions and all stalls put up by various countries also. So, that time I was member of parliament, organizing other members to come and see the COP. Now I am here the president of the COP. That's what the beauty of democracy is all about. And therefore, as Hem Pandey was telling you that we have only 2.5% of the geographical area, still we have 8% of biodiversity species, despite having 18% of population and 18% of cattle population as well. Why? Because our Indian ethos thinks of a universe as a life cycle, the flora, fauna, animal life and wildlife, the whole nature is part of our life cycle. In Indian ethos, we call it Charachar Srishti. That means it includes human beings, it includes cattle, it includes animals, it includes flora and fauna. The whole nature and mankind can only sustain together, can only exist together and develop themselves in a sustainable way. That's the Indian ethos on which, and so we have this large biodiversity. That's the origin of it. And we want to develop it further for all the three subjects which we are thinking about: conservation, sustainable development, and sharing and benefit and access, because that is what we want. And I'm very happy to say that sustained efforts have yielded results. And Nagoya Protocol on sharing and access benefit has been now ratified by more than 50 countries and will continue. Even next week I'm going to New York, but I'll not leave this issue there also. I'll follow it up. And more countries should join that, because that ratification of Nagoya Protocol means sharing of access and benefit to all the countries, particularly those who have reach in diversity and who don't have the progress of technology or research, and those research benefits, the benefits derived from research out of this biodiversity must come to the countries which have the origination of those biodiversity species, and therefore these are very important things. As far as today's meeting is concerned, it is essential that we develop an informatics supported mechanism to efficiently manage and use these natural resources and recognize them as capital assets, because this is important. I'm not talking about natural capital as a calculating method, but I'm talking it as a real asset. The BEEF in 2000, an intergovernmental network which was formed that time, aims to facilitate free and open access to the world's biodiversity data. And that's a basic thing. But people are finding little difficulty that around 6,500 natural history museum is really a treasure throughout the world, which approximately housed more than 3 billion specimens of Indian origin. However, access to these specimens, I'm not talking about the access and sharing of benefits, but even access to these museums sometimes become a really difficult process. So what Indian researchers are experiencing is, when they needed most the access, it doesn't come easy. In both time, it's very time consuming and expensive. In the last 2 decades, many natural history museums in developed nations have digitized specimen collections that are holding several ongoing global and regional biodiversity informatics initiatives for sharing data about these specimens with the countries of origin are growing momentum. In this context, I'll like you all people to, in the GBEF, and partners to expedite and institutionalize the process of digital exchange of this data, because that is a very important issue. In the end, I'd like to say that for many countries in the world, transforming a 500-year tradition of slow information transfer by lines of type of paper into digital, which makes it rapid, but sometimes it gets stuck also. Interchange among thousands of distributed, heterogeneous and multilingual databases, while at the same time dealing with complexities of the information itself, as well as the means of handling it, is a daunting challenge. But I'm confident that deliberations in the GBEF meetings in this week would give us a roadmap to move forward in this direction. And therefore, our commitment to biodiversity, our commitment to sharing and access of benefits from this biodiversity are our real commitments. It comes from our heart, and the new government under Narendra Modi, the largest democracy, has given a historic mandate for Narendra Modi's leadership. And it's a generational change in a way. It's not a 5-year change. It's a decadal. People are thinking that it's a 20 or 25 years. Basic change is happening in Indian democratic shape and size. And therefore, his commitment individually to the whole climate change debate, to the whole conservation, sustainable development activity, the way he wants to shape the economy of the country while utilizing the nature but not exploiting the nature. And therefore, we are very committed. And therefore, for the first time, the Ministry of Environment and Forest is now Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So that's the emphasis we have, and we have the first time the Prime Minister who has written a book on climate change and environment issues. So therefore, our commitment is full and final. So I welcome you all to India, to the beautiful city of New Delhi, and wish you very fruitful deliberations. I would also request you to take time off from your busy schedule to enjoy the natural cultural flavor of India during your stay, to make it memorable one. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom and for spelling out the priorities and commitments of the new government. and also for the commitment that you have shown that our ministry would be taking as a follow-up to the decisions and deliberations in this. I will now request Peter Shark to kindly present a memento to the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir. And I'll now request Donald to kindly present to the... Thank you, sir. We'll continue. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw a minister, you heard him, and you also came to know that how busy he is from one program to the other. Finally, it's my pleasant duty to propose a vote of thanks. Obviously, we are most grateful to our minister who has found time from his busy schedule to be with us, and his presence here is a source of encouragement, motivation, and inspiration. You would agree that an international event of this magnitude, with delegates coming across the globe, cannot be organized without a dedicated team of professionals. I would like to thank the Secretariat of GBIF for the valuable assistance provided on the preparatory phase of this meeting for the last 6 months. We have made some very efficient use of the information technology. Despite the fact that GBIF Secretariat is located in Copenhagen and the planning teams were based in New Delhi and Dehradun, and notwithstanding the time difference between Denmark and India, we were able to work out through email communication and through Skype discussions and resolve all the organizational matters. And I would take this opportunity to thank the GBIF Secretariat. A strong team is present over here, and I would request all of you to give a big hand to them. Having said that, I would also say that despite the modern technology and advancements, international travel still remains a formidable task, and obtaining the right kind of a visa is a daunting challenge. I am well aware that some of our delegates had to face these inconveniences, and I would like to apologize on behalf of the ministry. But one thing is very clear, that we were able to eventually get all the delegates. None of the delegate got stuck for want of visa or was denied visa. And I would like to put on record the role played by Mr. Pandey is not here. He was the one who played a very important role, picking up a phone and talking to his counterparts in Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs and sorting out those visa details. And we are very happy that all of you are here. I would also take this opportunity to thank my colleagues, Dr. Venkat Raman and Dr. Paramjeet, for their valuable support and for very efficiently organizing the release functions. I also want to thank the representative of the press and media who have come here and who would be covering this event today and the remaining deliberations over the week. In the end, I would like to thank you all the delegates for taking time. Everybody is busy, everybody has commitments, for coming and traveling from all over the world to India and to be with us for this board meeting. And I'm confident that the deliberations during this week would be professionally rewarding, and you would go back with happy memories of having a joyous stay over here and a lot of professional learning and development. Thank you very much.